What's up, music fans of the internet? I'm Derek,
And I'm Kevin.
and together we're last week's album where we're talking about good music, and this week we're talking about The People Are Revolting by the Gotobeds. Before we go any further, we're going to start things off like we always do. Drinking a beer. Cheers, Kevin. Cheers, everyone at home.
Cheers, Derek. And I believe it's Poor People Are Revolting,
Oh
which
my
makes
god.
makes the album title really funny and kind of messed up at the same time.
Yeah. It kind of creates a double entendre, you know. Are the poor people revolting against the non-poor, or are they revolting, you know, in appearance and or odor? Are they disgusting? I don't know. Maybe we'll answer some of these questions this week in our review. But before we digress any further than we already have, the Gotobeds are a Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania-based quartet. Two of the members actually started playing together earlier on in a local hardcore band there called Kim Fook. And Poor People Are Revolting is the band's debut album, and it was recorded in one day and is released on Austin-based label 12XU. So, Kevin, Poor People Are Revolting, what do you think it sounds like?
Derek, I think this album sounds like post-punks taking selfies in the mirror while flipping off the world and themselves. What do you think it sounds like?
Oh, that's awesome. I think the Gotobeds sound like Steel City Sex Pistols, but in no hurry to go anywhere. So it kind of ties into your sounds like as well there. Okay, so what do you have for key tracks?
For key tracks, you mentioned In No Rush to Go Anywhere. I have New York's All Right and To and From. What do you have, Derek?
Those are good ones. I actually have Wimpy Garcia and Jenna, Rations.
All right.
Yeah, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, sure. New York's All Right. And then in parentheses, If You Like Sex and Phones. This here is a bouncy, sludgy, guitar-laden track. You get some really popping drums, almost spoken lead vocals, very wiry lead guitars, these cool group yell backing vocals. Later, there are voicemails from girls who are going out in Brooklyn, which is a nice touch. A very nice angular guitar solo. And overall, the lyrics sort of poke holes in the often glamorized New York lifestyle. And something about the whole flat and simple production of the sound really makes that sarcasm hit home. It really punctuates it very well. And overall, the song works really well, not just as a catchy tune, but as a work of satire. So definitely check that one out. Derek, tell us about Wimpy Garcia.
Wimpy Garcia is a boastful bar brawl inciting tune. There's crunchy electric guitars, a bouncing bass guitar riff, cymbal snare heavy drums, and at some point there's like canned sitcom audience laughter, which really kind of adds to the tongue-in-cheek lyrics here. Lyrically, nothing extravagant, a lot of F-bombs, as they describe these fictional characters, Wimpy Garcia and Wimpy Hendrix, are scapegoats to the band's and or bars antagonists, or it's just kind of kind of calling someone out for guitar playing licks or something like that. It really kind of lesser serious lyrics, but it was still a lot of fun. At the 2:20 mark, it enters into this driving instrumental outro, a dueling lead guitar solo. It's just really kind of a fun song.
Yeah. Derek, you mentioned a lot of F-bombs. I'm going to make you mention the parenthetical title of that song real quick. Everyone at home.
Brotherfucker?
Exactly. My next key track is called To and From. It has these really yelping punk vocals that I really enjoyed, some rubber band guitars, trash can percussion, everything from pounding drums to these sort of clanking key sounding effects. And group vocals on the chorus create this really cool call and response. The message here questions consumerism, but with an intelligent self-awareness that sort of owns up to its own guilt. So it's a nice, refreshing take on some self-aware punk, which I enjoyed. So, what about Generations, Derek?
Kevin, Generations, actually kind of a pun here. It's spelled like someone's name, lady Jenna with the last name Rations. I guess if you're actually spelling it out. The sounds here, the verses are just strong post-punk sound, shimmering guitar chords, driving bass guitar, bass snare, drum beat. Choruses are a little more terse, building momentum into these more melodic bridges, which kind of feature these dramatic rising guitar riffs. Lyrically, the main character kind of describes this mental turmoil caused by the pursuit of this girl, presumably Jenna of the Rations variety, quote, because she can't be alone. Unfortunately, the lead character, he can't be alone, which he reiterates ad nauseum at the end. And there was just kind of one, I think they're really kind of drawing some parallels here. Obviously this is not about a specific girl, but one kind of lyric that was poignantly put in there at the end, albeit under this buzzing staccato electric guitar riff. He says, "America, you are so unkind. In your white wedding dress, I'm unimpressed." Just kind of really cool way to bring the metaphor together, albeit in a very subtle, almost missable type way. All right, is that all our key tracks there?
Yeah. Best lyrics.
Yeah, you want to start us off there?
Sure, I will. My best lyric is from one of your key tracks, Derek, Wimpy Garcia, and it goes, "Wimpy Garcia, I got a guitar too. It's made of old wood, and I'm grateful it's dead, just like you." I took that as his sort of punk effigy, at the same time a rock and roll elegy, all in one couplet, which is no easy task, and just really impressed me as a line. What was your best lyric, Derek?
Kevin, I'm actually going to return the favor, and my best lyric is coming from one of your key tracks. This one comes from To and From, echoing back to the self-aware consumerism you were describing earlier. He says, "I've got some blues to lose. New couture, but it didn't suit. I bought it before I could buy. Consumers are like dead satellites." Just a lot of interesting language there. And I just really like the phrase, consumers are like dead satellites. Just kind of interesting thing to ponder on. And that brings us to overall rating. Kevin, what do you think of Poor People Are Revolting?
I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 5, Derek. I thought they did a great job of creating this immediate and intentionally messy sound. Sometimes it's barely in time, sometimes it's slightly off tune, sometimes the lyrics are tripping over themselves. All really nice effects to create this raw, in-the-moment vibe. They show a real lyrical wit and a self-aware intellect that I think can be kind of rare in punk, so I enjoyed that. The angst and anger make it something that I can't listen to all the time, but when I'm in the right mindset, this is a perfect album for that. And I feel like they'd be a really great live band. I can't wait to hear what they do next and potentially see them in concert. What did you think, Derek?
Kevin, I'm giving this one a 4 out of 5. I thought it was a really strong debut overall. I think you kind of hinted to this point earlier. Some of the sounds come across as familiar and maybe at times repetitive, but I really thought that there were some strong lyrics there which kind of set them apart from just being, a band you can just throw into some genre. The album titles I kind of alluded to earlier, even when I misstated said album title, just kind of the double entendre they have built in there I thought was very interesting. I think you're exactly right. High energy, I thought they captured that very well here. I think there's nowhere to go but up from here for the Gotobeds. So there you have it, a 3 out of 5 from Kevin, a 4 out of 5 from me, so that's a 7 out of 10 in total. So that means you shouldn't go to sleep on the Gotobeds. So there you have it. Thanks again for joining us at last week's album. Don't forget to subscribe to our shiz, and join us again next week. We're going to continue talking about good music. Until then, cheers.
Cheers, guys. See you next week.